In modern life, human relationships are becoming increasingly complex and require delicate communication skills. Especially in romantic relationships, understanding the fundamental principles for building attraction and maintaining strong connections with others is crucial. If you're looking for tips on how to become more attractive in the eyes of someone you care about, especially the women you're interested in, then don't miss these simple yet effective strategies. In this article, we'll explore ways to create natural attraction while maintaining confidence and independence in your relationships. 1. Don't reach out to her. It's a paradox that many of us overlook. Sometimes, the less you chase, the more you attract. Think about it, when someone is constantly in your face, texting you every minute, or calling non-stop, it starts to feel, well, overwhelming. It's like that feeling when you walk into a room and someone is all over you. It doesn't make you want to stay. But if they step back, leave some space, suddenly, you're curious. You start wondering, what are they up to? Why are they distant? For example, imagine you're at a party. There's always that one person who, no matter where you go, is right there, trying to talk to you. It's exhausting, right? But then, there's the person who hangs back, lets the moment breathe. That subtle distance. It makes them intriguing, and before you know it, you're drawn in without even realizing it. The truth is, absence creates a spark. When you're not around all the time, people start to fill the gaps with their own thoughts. They begin to think about you more, wonder more. If you're constantly available, they never have the chance to miss you. But when you give them that room to breathe, suddenly, your presence becomes more significant. This isn't about playing games, though, it's about understanding that space is a form of respect. When you pull back, you're not rejecting them, you're just letting things unfold naturally. It's like waiting for a flower to bloom, it needs time and the right conditions, not constant interference. So, next time you find yourself wanting to text or call, take a moment and think, does this moment need me to be there? Or can I step back and let things happen on their own? Trust that the distance will do its magic. It might just make them think about you in ways you never imagined. 2. Don't play into attention-seeking games. We all know that feeling when someone posts something, and it seems like they're trying to get your attention, right? Maybe it's a picture, a status, something that feels like a nudge your way. The urge is there, to like, comment, or react right away. But here's the thing, by holding back and not immediately responding, you're actually sparking curiosity. You're creating a sense of mystery. Suddenly, it's not just about the post, it's about why you didn't react. Think about it like this, imagine you're at a party, and someone says something loud to get your attention. If you respond right away, it's like you're just playing into their hands. But if you don't react, suddenly, they're the one wondering why you didn't engage. That space makes them question themselves, and before long, they're intrigued. It's not about ignoring them, but rather giving them a moment to wonder. When you don't respond instantly, they start thinking, what's going on? Why didn't they react like I expected? That moment of uncertainty. It's like a little spark that keeps the conversation alive, even without words. By stepping back, you're also showing that you're not easily swayed. It's a subtle way of saying, I'm not here just to play the game. It tells them that your attention isn't something to be taken for granted, and that kind of confidence can be magnetic. It's like a cat that slowly approaches, rather than a dog jumping at every command. So, the next time you see her post something, ask yourself, do I need to jump in right now, or can I let the silence work for me? Giving that space, even just for a moment, might just create a deeper connection than an instant reaction ever could. 3. Let her see that you're doing well. It's natural to want to share the highs of our lives, especially when things are going well. But here's a little secret, showing that you're living a full, interesting life can have a powerful effect, especially when someone's watching from the sidelines. When she sees you thriving, whether it's through social media or just by the way you carry yourself, it creates a sense of longing. She starts thinking, I wonder what he's up to. Why didn't I get to be a part of that? Let's put it this way, think about someone you haven't seen in a while. Maybe you've been on some exciting trip, or you're working on something that's making you feel fulfilled. When you post about it, you're not showing off, you're simply showing her that you're living fully. And when she sees that, it stirs something inside her, a feeling of wanting to be a part of that energy. Imagine you're in a group setting. Everyone's talking about their adventures, their success stories, and one person is sitting there quietly, not sharing anything. It doesn't mean their life isn't happening, but they're not putting it out there. Now picture someone else, someone who's genuinely engaged, active, doing things that light them up. They become the focal point, not because they seek attention, but because their life speaks for itself. That's the power of showing you're doing well. The key here isn't about being flashy or showing off, it's about subtly letting her know that you're good on your own. You're not waiting for someone to complete you, you're already living a life that's worth sharing. And when she sees that, it naturally sparks curiosity and a desire to be a part of what you've built. So, the next time you're thinking about what to post or share, ask yourself, is this a reflection of the life I'm living, or am I just filling a void? When you live well and share your journey, she won't just want to be a part of your life, she'll want to be in your world. 4. Stir up some jealousy. It might sound a little counterintuitive, but sometimes, a little jealousy can spark the right kind of interest. If she sees that you're not just sitting around waiting for her attention, but instead, living a full, social life with friends and even other women, it can trigger something deep inside her. Not in a malicious way, but in a way that makes her realize, hey, maybe I'm not the only one he's interested in. Think about it like this, when someone is always around, always available, it can start to feel too easy, right? But if she sees you laughing with friends, hanging out with other people, maybe even sharing moments with other women, in a casual, non-flirty way, it shifts the dynamic. Suddenly, she begins to wonder, why isn't he chasing me? What's going on? For example, think of it like this, you're at a party, and you're chatting and having fun with a group of people, both men and women. You're not paying all your attention to her, but you're not ignoring her either. She's watching you engage, seeing that you're not depending on her for validation or approval. It's like watching a movie where the main character has multiple people vying for their attention, it makes them seem more desirable, not because of who they're with, but because of who they could be with. Of course, this isn't about playing games or trying to make her feel bad. It's about subtly showing her that you have options, that your life is rich with connections, and that you're not glued to her every move. This can trigger a spark of jealousy, but more importantly, it also reminds her that your attention is valuable. She starts to feel that missing piece, the feeling of wanting what she can't quite have. So, the next time you're out with friends or having a fun moment, consider letting her see it. A simple photo, a fun story, something that hints at your social life without overdoing it, sometimes, that's all it takes to make her realize just how much you're worth. It's not about making her jealous in a toxic way, but about creating enough intrigue for her to want to come closer. 5. Give her a way to easily remember you. One of the most powerful ways to stay on someone's mind is by creating a unique, memorable impression. Think of it like this, when you're not around, the next time she hears a certain phrase, sees a particular thing, or even hears a nickname, she'll instantly think of you. It's not about being dramatic, but about leaving a small, yet significant, mark on her memory. For example, maybe you've called her by a fun, quirky nickname, something that's special just between the two of you. Every time she hears it, whether it's from someone else or just in her own thoughts, she'll be reminded of you. Or imagine sharing an inside joke, something lighthearted and funny, that only the two of you get. That joke. It's like a key that unlocks a flood of memories every time it's brought up. It's not about being the center of attention or trying too hard, it's about those little, meaningful moments that create a lasting bond. Think back to a time when someone left a lasting impression on you. Was it a unique laugh? A nickname? A special phrase that just clicked? Those are the things that stick. So, what's the secret here? It's about creating moments that are tied to your presence, moments that she'll remember long after they've passed. Whether it's something sweet, funny, or just uniquely yours, those little moments become a piece of you she carries around, long after you're no longer in front of her. Next time you're with her, don't be afraid to get a little creative. Create that inside joke, use that special nickname, or do something silly that will always remind her of you. That way, no matter where she goes, she'll have a piece of you with her. 6. Teach her something new. One of the most attractive things you can do is share something new with her, whether it's a skill, a fun fact, or an interesting piece of knowledge. It's not about showing off what you know, but rather about creating a connection where you become the person who opens up new worlds for her. Imagine being the one who shows her how to do something she's never tried before or introduces her to an idea that sparks her curiosity. That experience doesn't just fade away, it stays with her, and so do you. For example, think about teaching her something you're passionate about, whether it's a new recipe, a cool life hack, or a new hobby like photography or painting. It's not about being an expert, but about sharing your enthusiasm and guiding her through the process. As she learns, she associates that learning moment with you, and the next time she thinks about that skill, she'll think about how you taught her. It's also about breaking the routine. We all love learning something new, it shakes up our day, it challenges our thinking. If you can offer her something different, something unexpected, you instantly stand out. Think of those small but meaningful moments when you've taught someone something and watched their face light up with understanding or excitement. That connection lasts far longer than any casual conversation. So, how do you do it? It could be as simple as sharing a book or article that inspired you, teaching her a few words in a new language, or even showing her a new app or tool you found useful. The point is, it's not about impressing her with your knowledge, but about guiding her in a way that's fun and enriching. Every time she thinks about that skill or piece of knowledge, she'll think of the moment you shared, and the connection between you will grow stronger. Next time you're with her, think, what can I teach her today? Whether it's something big or small, teaching her something new will not only make you more memorable, but it will also create a bond that goes beyond the surface. 7. Don't overreact. When she reaches out to you, it's easy to feel that rush of excitement. After all, you've been waiting for her message. But here's the trick, the less you seem desperate or overly eager, the more you'll intrigue her. Instead of showing how excited you are, keep your response calm, cool, and collected. By not reacting too intensely, you signal that you're not dependent on her, and that sense of independence is magnetic. Think about it like this, when someone's always overly enthusiastic to see or hear from you, it starts to feel a bit much. Imagine you're walking into a room and someone jumps up with exaggerated excitement. It's flattering at first, but after a while, it can feel overwhelming, maybe even a little draining. On the other hand, someone who greets you with a calm smile and a simple, "Hey, good to see you," leaves you wanting more. It's that balance of showing interest without coming on too strong. When you keep your responses measured, she starts to wonder, why isn't he jumping at the chance to talk to me? The absence of an immediate emotional reaction creates a sense of curiosity. She'll want to know what's going on in your life, why you're not rushing to get in touch. And that mystery is powerful. This doesn't mean being distant or cold, but rather showing that your world doesn't revolve around her. You have your own life, your own priorities, and that makes you more intriguing. People are drawn to those who are comfortable in their own skin, who aren't easily shaken by attention. So, the next time she messages you, take a deep breath. Keep your response simple, polite, and easygoing. Show that you're glad to hear from her, but don't let it be the highlight of your day. The more you keep your cool, the more she'll want to be close to you. 8. Create space for anticipation. There's something powerful about the space between two people, the moments when you're not right there, always within reach. When you give her the room to wonder when she'll hear from you or see you next, it creates a kind of excitement, a sense of longing. You become less predictable, more intriguing. And in that uncertainty, she starts to realize just how much she values the time you do spend together. Think of it this way, when something is always available to you, it starts to lose its value. Imagine a favorite song you hear on repeat, after a while, it becomes background noise. But when that song only plays once in a while, every note, every lyric stands out. You look forward to it, anticipate it, because it's not something you can always have. The same goes for you. When you're not always right there, it makes your presence that much more meaningful. For example, let's say you don't respond to her messages instantly or make plans with her immediately. It's not about ignoring her, it's about giving her the space to miss you. When she doesn't know when you'll be in touch, she starts to wonder, when will I get to see him again? That feeling of uncertainty draws her in, and the next time you do connect, it's much more impactful. The waiting and the distance can actually build a stronger connection. When she feels like you're not always just around the corner, it makes your interactions feel more precious. It's like that feeling when you finally reunite with an old friend you haven't seen in years. The reunion feels sweeter because of the time apart. So, instead of rushing to always be available, embrace the idea of creating a little space. Let her feel the absence, the anticipation, and when you do come back together, it'll be all the more meaningful. The waiting will make the connection deeper, stronger, and more lasting. 9. Keep some mystery. There's something undeniably attractive about mystery. When you don't reveal everything about yourself right away, you create an air of intrigue, something that draws people in and makes them want to know more. Instead of putting all your cards on the table, leave a little room for curiosity. The less she knows about you immediately, the more she'll want to figure you out. Think about it like this: when you meet someone who shares every detail of their life with you within the first few minutes, it can feel overwhelming. There's no room for discovery. But when someone opens up gradually, offering little glimpses of themselves over time, it's like unraveling a fascinating story. You want to know what happens next. And in the same way, when you hold back some aspects of yourself, whether it's your passions, your past, or your plans for the future, it keeps her wondering, keeps her engaged. For example, imagine you're talking to her about a trip you took, but instead of sharing every detail, you leave her with one intriguing story, something that leaves her wanting to know what happened next. Or when she asks about your hobbies, instead of telling her everything, mention a few things and then say, "I'll tell you more about that later." That little spark of curiosity will have her thinking about you long after the conversation ends. This isn't about being distant or secretive, it's about creating space for connection. By not giving everything away at once, you give her the opportunity to discover who you really are over time. And in doing so, you build a stronger bond. The mystery becomes something she's drawn to, like a puzzle she wants to solve. So, the next time you're with her, remember, a little mystery goes a long way. Don't feel the need to reveal everything right away. Keep her curious, and she'll want to keep coming back to uncover more of the story. 10. Show emotional maturity. Emotional maturity is one of the most powerful qualities you can demonstrate, and it's incredibly attractive. It's not about being perfect or always in control, but about knowing how to handle your feelings with grace and calmness, even in the face of challenges. When you show that you can stay grounded and composed, especially when things get tough, it creates a sense of security that draws people to you. Women, in particular, are often looking for stability in someone who can navigate the ups and downs of life without losing their cool. Think of it like this: when life throws curveballs, the way you react says a lot about you. Imagine being in a stressful situation, and while everyone around you is panicking or getting emotional, you stay calm and focused. Instead of getting caught up in the chaos, you take a moment to breathe, assess the situation, and find a solution. That level-headedness doesn't just make you more capable, it makes you someone she can trust to handle whatever life throws at you both. For example, maybe there's a situation where you're both having a disagreement or facing a challenge together. Instead of reacting with anger or frustration, you take a step back, listen to her perspective, and respond thoughtfully. That shows that you're not easily swayed by emotions, and that you're able to think clearly, even when things get tough. That kind of emotional intelligence is a magnet for someone seeking stability. It's also about being consistent. When you demonstrate emotional maturity, she knows she can count on you, whether life is smooth sailing or filled with challenges. You're someone who can handle stress without cracking, who doesn't get easily overwhelmed by minor setbacks. That sense of stability gives her a feeling of safety and reassurance, knowing that no matter what happens, you'll be there, steady and strong. So, the next time you face a tough situation, take a moment to breathe and approach it with calmness. By showing your emotional maturity, you're not just making yourself more attractive, you're showing her that you are the kind of person she can depend on, no matter what life brings. We hope these insights help you better understand how to build and maintain attraction in your relationships. You don't need to completely change yourself, you simply need to know how to highlight your inner qualities, which will lead to healthier and more lasting connections. If you found these tips helpful and want to learn more about personal development in relationships, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more valuable content. Like, share, and comment with your thoughts below the video, as we always love hearing from you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.